folks, Dude here. Well, it's time again for yet another Redbox movie review. Wow, man. Well, hang on a second. Obviously, we need a Tigger moment. Tigger's not made an appearance at the new house too terribly often, so we got to do that. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. I got one of the milder blends today, but it's still pretty good. I mean, you know, it's Craig. How terrible can it be? Today's video is going to be... Oh, well, let me just simply crank it up. We are talking about the institution known as... Well, it's a video, so let's get this sucker cranking up here. Do-do-do. Green stuff. Green stuff. Hey, green stuff.
It's gone. You both know what's at stake here. There isn't much road left. Take the bloody shot. What do you say about a man like that?
3 months ago, you lost the drive containing the identity of every agent embedded in terrorist organizations across the globe. 007 reporting for duty.
Where the hell have you been?
Enjoying death. I only have one question. Why not stay dead? There's no shame in saying you've lost a step.
All right, I'm going to break off on that one because obviously you guys know by now I am talking about the one and only Skyfall. Oh, man, Skyfall is... Well, it's... You know what? I was going to show you the website, but I'm not going to do that because the website is one of these schlocky, obnoxious little things. When you at least look at it, it's popping all kinds of insight video that really just doesn't make the appearance any better on my little dinky-ass webcam. So I'm going to give you the basic long and short and how it goes of what I thought about this movie. It rates on IMDb as a 7.8, okay? I think it's one of the better, newer Bonds, all right? I basically am a beholden fixture to the old stuff, but I've watched it so many times. I'm just an absolute nut for the old ones. And I'm probably a little jaded in that regard, but the newer stuff with Daniel Craig is actually decent, okay? This is his best Bond movie yet. Now, in terms of the way he actually looks physically, he looks like he's been starved to death and run to death, man. He's not looking healthy. He's looking rough. I mean, yeah, he's got that, cut, chiseled, kind of, really badass kind of exterior thing going on, but he's looking a little tired. He definitely gave it 110% for this movie, though, and he definitely made it work. All right, in terms of the actual video itself, let me just run from north to south here. Obviously, you had this thing. It rates not great. It rates higher. Sometimes on IMDb there's kind of like a video snob thing. It rates 7.8, which is one of the higher ratings. Okay, your actual cast consists of Daniel Craig, of course, as James Bond. Judi Dench is still as M. She's the only female M who has ever been in a James Bond movie ever. For the last 3 movies, she's been quote unquote M, as in Emma, and she's basically the boss lady. She gave it a kind of paternalistic thing, and she actually was brought on board because of this lady right here, Barbara Broccoli. Barbara Broccoli is the daughter of the producer of the James Bond series. She's worked on it since she was a little kid, okay? She has absolutely been into it. Her dad, Cubby Broccoli, and Harry Saltzman were the 2 guys that made those movies happen back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, what have you. I think her dad passed like in 80-something, maybe a little later than that, but she was only born in 1960. She's not much older than me, so she's been doing the James Bond stuff for friggin' ever. Now, the other thing, too, is also she was the person that made it so that had Judi Dench become M. That's right, that lady right there, Dame Judi Dench, which is basically like the British Royal Order of Knighthood for women. So she's not like any small potatoes in the acting industry in England, man. Trust me. This is a chick who's been around for a long time. She's a very well-respected actress, and that's why she got the role. All right, now jumping back to the main drag here yet again, you have the bad guy is Silva, and his name is Javier Bardem. Javier Bardem. Let me try to do it correctly here. Javier Bardem. He's a Spanish actor. He's a Spanish actor that jumped on board with this because, well, they needed somebody crazy enough. And how crazy is Javier Bardem? Yeah, he's that crazy. He's the guy from No Country for Old Men. He was the guy running around with a shotgun in the air tank shooting in the spiked bullets through the doorways to pop the door locks. Yeah, he's that guy. Now, how crazy is he in this movie? He's pretty freaking crazy, man. Let's just jump over him real quick. Hopefully they have like a James Bond thing. No, they don't. But he's running around with blonde hair, and he plays a seriously broken toy, man. I'll tell you what, he is that guy that you don't ever want to face off against as the bad guy. And he plays a wonderful psychotic role like you don't want to know. One of my friends was calling me. I want to cut that one off. But he's actually born in Spain, Canary Islands. Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, Canary Islands, Spain. So he's a little younger than me, but he's actually made quite a role for himself. Now, who else is in this movie that's really, truly notable? Well, you have this girl. Oh, Naomi Harris. Man, that is one hot sister. I'll tell you what. She's one of these actresses that probably you're just like, Naomi Harris. I know she sounds familiar. I can't quite place her. It's like, yeah, you can place her because in Pirates of the Caribbean, she was Tia Dalma. Yeah, it's amazing you take something that's smoking hot and you can make it look like that. Ugh. So her and Bill Nighy were the hot couple back in Pirates of the Caribbean, and she was the sea witch type chick that basically made a heck of a lot of mess of things, and she was the woman that you don't play with. Ugh. But I'll tell you what, man, she was really, really cute in this movie, and I gotta tell you, man, it was really, really good. Now, the other thing, too, is, yeah, you don't face that, but you do deal with that, and she is positively yummy in that movie. Yes, that's right, the two of them together, and, yeah, I could tell they definitely didn't really hate working with each other too terribly much. Now, in terms of the thing with Skyfall, let me jump over here to en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Skyfall. The movie actually had a lot of problems. And actually, I'm going to read it direct. Production of Skyfall was suspended throughout 2010 because of MGM's financial troubles. They resumed pre-production following MGM's exit from bankruptcy on 21 December 2010. And in January 2011, the film was officially given the release date of 9 November 2012 by MGM The Broccoli Family, with production scheduled to start in late 2011. Subsequently, MGM and Sony Pictures announced that the UK release date would be brought forward to 26 October 2012, 2 weeks ahead of the US release date, which remains scheduled for 9 November 2012. The film's budget was estimated between 150 million and 200 million USD. Compared to the 200 million spent on Quantum of Solace, Skyfall was part of a year-long celebration of the 50th anniversary of Dr. No and the Bond film series. According to producer Michael G. Wilson, the documentary crew was scheduled to follow production of the film to celebrate the anniversary, and they schlock the heck out of us. When you rent this video and you're checking it out from the Redbox, it's damn annoying because the first 15 or 20 minutes are nothing but trailers and, hey, by this 50th anniversary, 120 hours of additional stuff in the James Bond series, blah, 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 blah. They're trying to make money on it, obviously. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. Now, the other thing, too, is, unfortunately, the Redbox copy that I got was kind of glitched up. I had to play around with it, had to reboot it twice. I eventually got to watch the movie with about, I'm going to say probably maybe 5 to 7 minutes missing. It wasn't really huge. It's like, okay, no. He goes from this, a little later on you see something exploding. Okay, it was no great mystery. He obviously was chasing him through the so-and-so, and he set the thing on fire and blew it up. Usually that's what happens with James Bond. He gets in some place, they blow it up around him. Duh. That's what they do. Okay, now to jump back over here yet again. You know what? I'm going to head back out of that one because I'll just be staring at Naomi too much, and that's not good. Now, the other thing, too, is Silva is a really broken toy. He is a seriously psychotic individual who has got deep informative axes to grind with Judi Dench, Reed M. So now you have basically like the one guy that's been put out to the wilderness, now coming back to go after his boss, and that's why he had the caskets lined up, because now he's making it personal. He got a hold of a computer drive with all the lists of all, I'm not giving anything away, this is all in the previous, all the lists of all the guys' names that are actually undercover agents all around the world for MI6, and this guy has now made it a method and a possibility for him to wipe out every single one of them. And of course, now he's brought the fight home because now it's personal. He wants to wipe out M as well. So now you have this kind of mano a mano thing between Silva and James Bond. But the thing is, Silva's so psychotic. He's like, well, you know what, James? You're in the same boat as me. I mean, they basically gave you up for dead, and why are you fighting for England? I mean, they don't appreciate what you're doing. Why don't you simply join up on my side? We'll make tons and tons of money together and blow up the world and have a grand old time doing it. Not cool. Not cool. Was it Bernice Merlohi? Bernice Merlohi. I'm probably mispronouncing it as all get out. She plays the role of Severin. Obviously the femme fatale. She's not like like one of the joke names like they had back in the '60s. She's just Severine, and she's hot. The guy that played Q, Bill Wishall, he's good. I mean, he's a younger guy, but he actually plays a really good Q. The guy that actually plays Kincaid, basically the housekeeper for someplace. I'm not going to give that away. You guys will figure it out. But Kincaid is a really good Scottish actor, or plays a really good Scottish actor. Or who's this? That's a really young picture of him. He's not that young. He's quite a bit older. Yeah, he's quite a bit older. It's 2007, but he's pretty gruff looking, kind of scruffy looking old guy. But he's a badass, and that's an old picture because he's born in '36. Okay, so he's not that young anymore. But he plays a really good role, and kind of runs out. This movie actually is kind of cool in one regard. It gives you a lot of history about James Bond, where he came from, why he's as bent and dark and brooding and self-introspective to the degree, and just blowing off, anti-authoritarian and all the rest of that happy horse stuff. You get to see some of the other stuff about it, and it goes more into it, like we're to the point where they think he's dead, and he pops up, and even M's like, well, where the hell were you? I knew you weren't dead. Kind of that arrogant thing about you can't possibly die because you're Bond. That's the other part that's really funny. Of course, James Bond will never die in these movies. Even when he gets blown off a train shot in the chest, falling like some ridiculous distance, and he looks like he's drowning, he can't die. So that's kind of like the comedy of it. Of course, every hot chick that he meets is going to get. And I do mean get. I don't mean just get. He gets. But, then, of course, the turnabout, fair play, and, that's the other thing that kind of sucked is, Severin was actually kind of a really nice girl, and, I'd say was, because, obviously somebody that's that hot, that's nice, how that usually works out for those femme fatales and all those James Bond movies. They usually don't do so good. But I'm not going to give away, like, what happens to her, but let's just say she's not going to be in the next one. I'm not hurting anybody's feelings with that one, because we all know how the bad guys usually wind up and how the hot chicks usually wind up in almost all the James Bond movies. It's like, oh, she's hot. Oh, crap. Damn it. Oh, I wanted to see her live for the next one. No, they had to write her out because you couldn't have James Bond with a wife. Oh, no. They tried that one once. James Bond got married once, and of course they had, of all people, that's right, they had Kojak come by and kill her. Telly Savalas killed James Bond's wife. You're going to have to look that one up because that goes deep into the Bond mythos. And if you look around, there's actually a Wikipedia for James Bond. So, you know what? I'll put the link right there. There is actually a Wikipedia for James Bond in the James Bond universe. And there's stuff that I'm learning on that thing. So, even as much as a James Bond fan as I am, there's always stuff you can learn about these things. And I'm not like one of these guys like, like what shoe size does he wear? How many times has he changed his shirt in so-and-so movie? How many times has he been blown up and blah, blah, blah. I don't do stuff like that. But I do basically tell you guys about good movies. So let's go to the rating. The rating on Skyfall. I am going to give this movie, out of 5 stars, I'm going to give this movie 4 stars. Why? Not so much that basically it's the best James Bond movie I've ever seen because I'm beholden to the stuff back in the 60s, but because it is so introspective and it shows all the good stuff about why Bond is Bond. That's always good times. All right, folks, so on this one, we have the Redbox movie review. For $1.30, you can rent this thing from Redbox. It'll give you a good evening, crank up some popcorn, kick back, grab the wife, and have a good time watching James Bond just blow up everything in sight and, of course, get shot and be resurrected and, all that good stuff like that there. Dispensing with bad guys. The eternal justice of don't be bad guys anymore. Don't be bad guys. All right, folks, so on this one, I'm going to say, you know what? Eat good, keep the 10 ring, watch James Bond movies, good times.